Hey folks, so let's say, hypothetically speaking, that you are interested in dating a much younger person. Well, as long as you and the other person are both consenting adults, legally speaking, that's the end of it. But perhaps you are also concerned that your relationship with this much younger person would cause a scandal. You're worried about how your peers would perceive the relationship, or with how your prospective partner's peers will perceive the relationship. Because let's face it, fair or not, there is a certain amount of side eye that goes on when an older person dates a significantly younger person. We've come up with all of these delightful metaphors for such relationships that are actually really kind of horrifying when you think about them for longer than a second or two, like robbing the cradle or jailbait. These are just lovely turns of phrase that we've invented to describe these relationships between older and younger people. So if you want to avoid bringing that kind of scandal down upon yourself and your prospective partner, you can take an extra step to prevent it by following an old time-tested social convention that is known as the half your age plus 7 rule. The half your age plus 7 rule states, as you might have guessed already if you haven't heard of it yet, that it is improper to date a person who is not at minimum half your age plus 7 years. To apply this rule, you just need some fairly basic information: your age, the age of your prospective partner, the ability to do simple arithmetic. All you do is you divide your age by 2, then you add 7 to that, and if that number is higher than the number of your prospective partner's age, you don't date that person. And then you're good. You're good, according to the half your age plus 7 rule. It's fairly simple, but I have found that if you express this rule in the form of an algebraic equation, you can explore it in more depth and it becomes a lot more useful. You can find more interesting things to do with it. Now, of course, I studied English in college, so I am pretty much useless when it comes to math. And my apologies to those of you who were English majors but are also awesome at math. I just happen to not be one of those. So in order for me to really play around with algebra, I do need some help. And I found this really awesome website called Math Papa that has an algebra calculator. So let's explore the half your age plus 7 rule in algebraic form, because I think it'll be interesting and it'll help me stretch this premise. Here's our algebra calculator, courtesy of mathpapa.com. This is a terrific tool if you are someone like me who finds algebra useful from time to time, but also sucks at it. Now, when we express our rule, our half your age plus 7 rule, in the form of an algebraic equation, it looks like this: x over 2 plus 7 equals y, where x is your age and y is the minimum age of people that you are allowed to date according to this rule. So if your age were, let's just take my age. My age is 37. So if I want to find my minimum dating age, I replace x with my age, 37, and it would be 37 divided by 2 plus 7. So we just hit calculate it and it solves the equation for us. And you see that the answer is 51 divided by 2, or 25.5. So according to the rule, if I were a dating person, I of course am not dating, I'm happily married and in a monogamous relationship, so this doesn't apply to me. But if I were in that situation and I wanted to know the minimum age of people I should be looking to date according to the rule, then that age would be 25.5. And you can go, of course, on and on and on, plug in any age you want and see what the minimum age would be according to the rule. But with the algebra calculator, you can also come at things sort of from the opposite direction. Let's say, for example, that this younger person that you are interested in dating is someone that you have a lot of chemistry with, you really hit it off together, you get along great, you would really love to date this person, but they are just too young according to the half your age by 7 rule. And being a person who is deeply and seriously concerned about how you are perceived by your peers in your social circle, and of course wanting to make sure that the reputation of the person you want to date is also similarly preserved, you want to stick with the half your age by 7 rule. So you determine to wait until the age is a little bit more appropriate, when the age difference doesn't matter quite as much. Because as we know, age differences matter less and less and less. They carry less weight the older both people are. And that's also the way that the half your age plus 7 rule works. The number of years that separate you, the age difference between you and the person you're interested in, will never change. If you're 20 years older than they are, you will always be 20 years older than they are, but their age will not always be less than half your age plus 7. And if you want to find out what age they will be and what age you will be when it's appropriate for you to date this person according to the half your age plus 7 rule, you can do that using the Algebra Calculator, and I'm going to show you how. Now, when we do this bit, we will still be abiding by the guideline of the half your age plus 7 rule, but we will be using a different equation to figure out when the person you're interested in dating will be age appropriate for you to date, according to the half your age plus 7 rule, which you, hypothetically speaking, have decided to honor to the letter. All you need to figure this out is the number of years that separate you in age. And if you don't happen to know that off the top of your head, you just take your age and their age and you subtract one from the other and you determine what the difference in ages are. So if you are, let's say, 40 and they are, let's say, 25, then you can find that the difference in your ages is 15 years if you need a calculator to do that. And you can't do that in your head. So now that you know the difference between your age and your prospective partner's age, you use this equation to figure out when it will be socially appropriate for you to date each other, again, according to the half your age plus 7 minimum rule. You need to do this. You need to figure out when X, which is your age, divided by 2, plus 7, which is the half your age plus 7 rule, is equal to X minus 15, which is the difference in your ages. And you calculate the solution to that problem, and the answer you get is 44. And what that means is that is the age that you have to be before you can date people who are 15 years younger than you. So when you are 44, and your prospective partner is 29, then, according to the rule, it's perfectly okay, perfectly socially acceptable for you to date them. And the bonus is, if you are a 44-year-old person and you are dating a 29-year-old person and you still catch flack from people in your social circles because of the age difference in your relationship, all you have to do is take your friends who have these reservations to mathpapa.com's Algebra Calculator, tell them what I have just shared with you in this video, or better yet, just show them this video, and you can prove to them that according to this time-tested, age-old tradition, in fact, you are not too old or too young, whatever position you happen to be in, for your partner, because according to the half your age plus 7 rule, it is completely fine for a 44-year-old person and a 29-year-old person to date each other, period. Now, this last example is kind of a timely one. Let's say that your age is 32 and the age of your prospective partner is 14. No equation necessary. Don't date a 14-year-old. You shouldn't need a rule to tell you not to do that. But just in case you do, here's the rule. Adults don't date teenagers. Adults date other adults. Teenagers can date other teenagers, but adults shouldn't date teenagers because teenagers aren't done growing up yet. Grown-ups date grown-ups. Grown-ups don't date people who aren't grown up yet. Teenagers still need to grow up and they still need to have lots of different experiences, none of which is dating you as an adult. So if you're an adult and you want to date a teenager, don't date the teenager. Let the teenager grow up. Leave the teenager the hell alone.